Red teaming and bulletproofing your strategy. Would you like a systematic and strategic way to make thought-out decisions that get the best possible results? Let's get red teaming. Red teaming is the practice of utilizing contrarian thinking, stress testing your decisions, avoiding decision-making in a vacuum, and inviting a devil's advocate perspective. With this, you can overcome obstacles ahead of time, expose and mitigate threats, challenge assumptions, identify missed opportunities, and examine initiatives from all sides. Sound great? What's more, red teaming helps us avoid 6 pitfalls. The Bandwagon Effect, herd mentality or groupthink. The Ostrich Effect, avoiding negative or unpleasant input. Hindsight Bias, looking back at unpredictable events and thinking they were easily predictable. Confirmation bias, finding or seeing information as supporting our existing idea. The Abilene Paradox, forward momentum on action that none of the individuals actually want. Or even Optimism Bias, being overconfident about the potential of success, like how 93% of American drivers think that they are above average drivers. Red teaming can be done in 2 formats. You can create a red team. In the book Red Teaming, How Your Business Can Conquer the Competition by Challenging Everything, the author suggests gathering 5 to 11 of your best and brightest for this team while giving the close access to the initiative's information. This team then presents their findings, suggestions, and advice with tact to leadership, and then leadership can make an informed decision. Red teams are sometimes known as murder boards, a panel of folks that try to poke holes in what's presented. Or you can utilize a red teaming process with the people involved whenever you are strategizing about an initiative. Here are 7 strategizing tools and 3 facilitation techniques to help you red team. Sensitivity analysis or what-if analysis. This allows us to look deeply into the consequences of potential calamities. If these what-ifs happened, there could be a major impact. This is especially helpful when much about the future is unknown. Each person produces a list of what-ifs to examine as a group. Utilize this facilitation technique here. No one speaks twice until everyone has spoken once. Another facilitation tool to use is 1, 2, 4, all, or think, pair, share. First, each person brainstorms alone, then discusses with a partner, then as a group of 4, then with the whole group. Discuss proactive and reactive ideas if these what-ifs were reality. Devil's Advocacy. As one of the most powerful red teaming tools, you make a case that the opposite is true. Think high school debate team. This will expose flaws as you explore if anything that you produced rings true. In the Middle Ages, the Roman Catholic Church created an office of the devil's advocate to challenge the admission of a person into sainthood. Same idea here. Outside in or PESTLE analysis. Go macro before you go micro. When creating something of value for the customer or end user, first examine the political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental influences and impacts to guide or alter your initiative. SWOT Analysis. This tried and true tool is not just for your 1 through 10 year strategic planning process. Identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for your initiative, product, or idea to see where you can leverage and maximize the S&O and mitigate and be best prepared for the W&T. Stakeholder Mapping. This visual tool allows us to map stakeholder interest and influence across an XY axis. This people-centric activity allows us to think through how to strategically engage. For those in the high-influence, high-interest quadrant, we want to manage most thoroughly. And for the low-influence, low-interest quadrant, we want to have regular, minimal contact. Alternative future analysis. What does the future really hold? First, start with clearly identified goals. Then identify the key forces at play. From this, predict 4 possible futures. Share and discuss. This can start to reveal or unfold unique blends of data and intuition. I've got a feeling that to consider. Premortem Analysis. Different from a post-mortem, after-action review or debrief, the premortem's intent is to contemplate problems before they arise. We start by assuming that the plan has failed. The group reviews the plan and contemplates disaster, totally crashing and burning. What happened? Remember, think, pair, share, and get creative. Distribute sticky notes and have each write one scenario per note. Remember the no one speaks twice and tell rule. Keep making the rounds until the ideas start bordering on absurd. Display the sticky notes publicly and collectively and do dot voting, another facilitation technique, whereas each participant is given 2 to 5 dots to vote with. Address the top issues. The bottom line is that red teaming, heavily used by the military and in the cybersecurity arena, allows us to create solid plans and be skeptical, then strategic. It's especially helpful with VUCA initiatives, but can be utilized for any plan creation. However, do not red team if the enemy is already in the water, as this process needs some time. In addition to the 7 aforementioned strategies, anytime you are rolling out an initiative, it's helpful to address these questions. What are our objectives? What are our available resources? What is our detailed plan? What are our existing or potential obstacles, and what will we do when we encounter them? What holes and solutions can we find? Happy strategizing!